Welcome students. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the second part of the skeletal system, that is the joints. Previously, we have known about the different important bones of the human skeletal system. Now we will know about the locations in which that all of those bones are joined with each other. Those are called the joints. Let's have a look. Joints can be described as the place of connection of two bones. Now there are 206 bones in our whole body, and all of those joints at which the bones are attached with each other are not very similar. They are very different from one another, and we can actually differentiate them into three types: immovable or fixed joints, which are also called the fibrous joints, just like the joints present in our skull. These joints do not move. Next type is the slightly movable joint, which are also called the cartilaginous joints and present in our vertebral column. The third type is also called the freely movable joint, also called the synovial joint. These joints are allowing us to move in any direction, just as present in the knees, elbows, pectoral girdle, etc. Ligaments are the structures that are joining or holding two bones together. Cartilage is the structure which is a soft elastic tissue and protecting the bone, absorbing all the shock that the bone might have from external environment. The first type of the movable joint is called the hinge joint. Now the term hinge is actually meant a connection which is present between two structures. In our homes, we can easily find a hinge in between the door frame and the door. Around the hinge, the door is moved in all the directions. In our knee, elbow, finger and toes, just like the hinge, a joint is present which is also called the hinge joint because of the similarity in structure with the hinge of the door frame. It allows movement in two directions, either in up and down direction or in back and forward direction. The second type of the movable joint is called the ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint has two bones. One end of one bone is a cup-shaped structure and the other end of another bone is a ball-shaped structure. The cup-shaped socket of one bone is attaching the ball-shaped end of another bone and they fit together in a ball and socket joint. These joints can be found in our shoulder girdle and in our pectoral girdle, or the shoulder joint and the hip joint. The humerus, that is the bone of our upper arm, is attached to the shoulder blades through a ball and socket joint, and the thigh bone, that is the femur, is attached with our pubic bones or the hip bones through a ball and socket joint. It is allowing movement in all the possible directions. The third type of the movable joint is called the pivot joint, and it is present in between the skull and the neck. Pivot is a central point around which another structure can be moved. In pivot joint also, there is a central bone around which another bone is moving. It is found between the skull and the neck. The skull is moving around the neck bone, which is the vertebral column. So here vertebral column is the pivot point around which the skull is moving. It allows movement in up and down direction and sidewise direction. The fourth and the last type of the movable joint is called the gliding joint, which is present between the wrist, ankle, between any two vertebrae of our vertebral column. In this gliding joint, the bones are gliding or sliding over each other. They are almost getting rubbed over the surface of one another. So it allows our back to bend because there are some of the gliding joint present in between the vertebrae and twist and turn in sidewise direction. The joints are very important for our body's flexibility, and they are also giving our body a stability so that we don't fall down. It gives our body mobility, that is, we can move from one place to another or move one thing from one place to another by the help of the joints. So it is giving us three things: stability, mobility and flexibility.